I've got to push something. Okay, continue.
Yes, Dan is on.
Excellent. Good. Thank you.
Hi there, everyone. Is my little flag forwards or backwards?
Oh, hi there. Yes, it looks great. Backwards, but that's all right.
Okay.
I can't figure it out because it was forwards.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it right now.
I know. There's something about the screen that does that.
Okay. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Just to let you know, this is being recorded.
Just before you start, it took me 10 to 15 minutes to get on. There's some real issues going on the Zoom.
The reason it took 10 to 15 minutes because we didn't admit you till 1900 hours.
No, but even after that, it took 2 to 3 different times. I had to go through all kinds of loops. So there may be some people having issues.
We've only been working on this for 2 minutes, Ken.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's okay. We're on. We're good. Thank you.
We'll give it another couple of minutes. And I ask everybody to remain, put yourself on mute until we ask for questions, and then unmute you when we get to you.
Nice background, Graham. Said nice background.
How about mine?
Oh, we have 64 participants now.
Yes, thank you. We'll get started in a minute. Please, for everybody, remain on mute until we get the Q&A part. We have one question that maybe Monica can address when she is talking, is about how to book docking at PCYC.
Well, I can address that now.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a link. If you reached out to me or to the Lure Committee earlier, we actually did put it in our newsletter that went out Wednesday morning. There was a link there that you were supposed to send everything before Wednesday, I think Wednesday noon. But you can still reach out to Harbormaster at pcyc.com, and there may be a space left for you. Overnight might be more difficult. If you're just going to come in for a few hours before the race, that would be fine.
Okay, we will get going now. Thank you for everybody for joining the mandatory participants meeting. My name is Graham Dougal. I'm the race officer. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted once it's over. So now I'll turn it over to Monica.
Hi there. I'm Monica Dodens, the chair of the Lake Ontario Offshore Racing Committee, and welcome to the Susan Hood Trophy Race. We're very pleased to announce that there's over 80 boats, and they're all registered and ready to go. And that means that there's just under 400 racers that are going to be on the water there on Friday. Nancy, our registrar, who you all have communications with, would like me to thank all of you for submitting the race documents and information online. We know it's been quite a challenge for you. It's also been quite a challenge for us. And we'll be looking at ways to making registration go a little bit smoother next year. And we do have some time to do that. The winner, by the way, the winner of the draw of competitors who had completed all the documents for the deadline was Catbird. Kathleen Timmis won the 6-liter Gull waterproof bag, a 200 gift certificate for tree services, and a bottle of rum. And that was donated to us by Arbonaut, which is a new sponsor. Congratulations to Kathleen, not just for being the winner, but for being one of the 40% who completed everything on time. Here's a shout out. I'd like to make a shout out to the real Susan Hood. Yes, Susan Hood is an actual person, and I don't know how many of you know that there is a real Susan Hood, and she's a sailor. I'm not going to go into the history of that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that she was racing with us. But if you buy one of the committee members a drink, they'll be able to tell you the story of how Susan Hood race started, trophy race started. She's sailing on Curious George, a CNC 27 in Perth flying sail fully crewed, and good luck to them. Sorry, we're not going to have any shoreline fun that we normally have, but we do hope to have some sort of celebration, maybe a flag ceremony or something later on in the year when we're allowed to, if we're allowed to. So stand by and listen, and if we can do something, we will. We are planning already for a full normal season next year, and hopefully we can step it up with some great onshore activities. And the racing, as always, is going to be just great. As chair of the Lure Committee, it's always my pleasure to thank our sponsors. I spoke to Andrew Lennox before the race night on Wednesday, and he's from Drive HG, one of our biggest supporters. He's sorry he can't talk to us today, but he asked me to send his good wishes for a safe and fast race. You all know that North Sales is also one of our steadfast supporters, and Hugh Beaton was supposed to be here, but he just canceled a few minutes ago. But he's actually out delivering some sales, and he wanted me to pass on his hopes for a fast and fun and safe race for all participants. We recently had some exciting news that NKE Marine Instruments has joined us as new sponsors. They've arrived with a splash, and Dan Cunningham is here just to tell you a little bit about Nike and their special surprise this year. So I'm just introducing Dan.
All right, thanks, Monica. I'm not going to take too much time, but I just wanted to say that I'm really excited to be representing NKE in Canada and also supporting this race, which I've done, I don't know, 10 or 15 times now. And this one should be a warm one, we hope. So I believe that NKE has the best marine instruments available in the market for both around buoys and offshore racing. And then if you'd like to learn some more, just please reach out to me through my website. It's probably the best, just at dcsailing.ca. And I look forward to awarding this nice new multi-display to the winner of the Susan Hood Trophy race. And it also comes with a remote. So yeah, back to you, Monica.
Thank you. That's quite exciting. So the Susan Hood Trophy winner will win a really great prize this year. And we're very pleased to have NKE along with us. Finally, before I pass this on to Graham, who has all the information that you're really here for, I would like to thank PCYC for hosting our races. Even if we're not in the clubhouse or on the docks of PCYC, we rely on the club for many things, and this is truly appreciative, but mostly appreciated, sorry. Mostly I want to thank the committee for all their hard work. The last 2 years have been amazingly difficult. All the fun parts of working together, the dinners, the drinks, and the camaraderie has been taken away from us. And we've been doing Zoom meetings, and the workload has doubled with all of the ever-changing restrictions and guidelines and permutations and all the stuff that we had to deal with. The fact that we pulled off the LO 300 and 600 and the Susan Hood Trophy race, plus we're going to be hosting almost all of the Loshers race, is testament to the hard work of this team. And thank you to the team, and thank you to all the racers, because of course, that's why we do this. So sail fast and sail safe, and I'm passing it over to Graham.
Okay, thank you very much, Monica. Just one point is if this notice of race and sailing instructions take precedent over anything I say that's contradictory at this meeting, just to get that out of the way. The other thing is, yes, we're allowed to sail racing events, but that doesn't mean COVID isn't around. So we encourage everybody to take their own necessary applicable steps to protect themselves. And a reminder that if you're at Port Credit Yacht Club, you have to adhere to their COVID-19 policies. The official documents, they are up to date. There is an amendment 1 and 2 to the notice of race. We got some feedback on a concern about how to go around the Ajax buoy. That's been corrected to how it's rounded, and we put in the correct position according to the lights list PFD version that we found. Also, that remind you to look at the splits document. As of course, this is a long distance race, so safety is key. The SIs give you permission that you can communicate with anybody, and so you can set up your own periodic check-in with family, friends, etc. Just a reminder that you need to give assistance to anybody in danger or a vessel in danger. This is not just competitors. This is anybody out in the water, and redress is available to anybody that helps. And that is the vast majority of requests and hearings we have, is to deal with assistance. To start, review Rule 26. Check the class and divisions. They're unique to the Susan Hood, not to any of the other lure events. And the naming of the classes have nothing to do with the start number. So make sure you check the document that shows you when you're supposed to start. Again, this says that the splits that we have defined are the authoritative. If there's a difference between that and the scratch sheet, the splits take precedence. So that's why we encourage everybody to check the scratch sheets to find out if there's any errors in where you're registered, or if you're not in the right rating band, and let us know as soon as possible. There was an override for the 36-7s, but I think that's actually been corrected because the person got a new perf certificate, so they're all the same now. We caught a couple of errors where people were sailing double-handed with more than 2 people. That was a registration problem, and that's been fixed. So that's why it's imperative that you check the scratch sheets and the splits document to make sure you're in where you're supposed to be, because it'll create real problems if you're not, and you'll be scored where you are in the scratch sheets. The first warning is at 1940. Just to remember that the racing rules of sailing come into effect at the prep signal. So no engine propulsion after the prep signal for your class. Please keep out of the way of anybody else who's starting. Once we have started the sequences, please do not try to check in until your warning has been issued. The course, again, there has been some contradictory information about whether or not we can sail in U.S. waters or not. We have had stories that people have raced like that. Then we've heard other stories that recently people have been chased away by the border patrol and all the rest of it. So to keep it fair and safe for everybody, the U.S. waters rank as an obstruction and exclusion zone. So that means we'll be sailing closer to shore. So maintain a proper lookout at all times. Here is the course, and that's thanks to feedback. We've changed the rounding for the Ajax weather buoy to leave it left on starboard side of the sailboat. So just a reminder that make sure you pick up the latest version of the sailing instructions for that. And this is a simple course. The Fogg Clarkson mark, the Ajax weather buoy OSY Mark 1, and then back to the onshore finish, which is the same as for the 300. Here is a picture of the OIS mark. It should be number 1. It went drifting with their other 2 marks, but they're dropping in 1 tomorrow. And so we really got to thank OIS and Les Springer. If you're there at OIS and you see him, why don't you buy a drink, because this couldn't have happened without him. And we're not the only people that have problems. That's the Dufferin mark that went drifting a couple of weeks ago. So that happens even to the big marks. Review the SI on finishing. There's a diagram. And it's important to keep your radio channel on 71 while you're finishing and afterwards, in case we have to contact you to make sure we get your sale number, because we can't really see the sale number in the dark. This thing about flashing a flashlight on the sales only illuminates maybe one digit. It only lets us know there's somebody there. We can't read the sale number. So we may have to contact you to get the sale number. So that's why it's important to have the radio on. Here's the diagram for the Susan Hood. It's the same as the 300. You're coming from the OYS mark and passing north of the PCYC finish mark that's already set, so you can go get the lat long for it, and we'll be on shore. The marks are for the SIs, and again, you can do the GPS fix for the finish mark. Again, monitor 71. And following, if you have taken an alternate penalty, don't forget this, the alternate penalty is in effect in this race. So doing one or two turns does not exonerate you. You've got to take the scoring penalty. So you've got to submit the form within 2 hours to the race committee. And if you want to submit a protest or a redress request, you can do that through the owner's corner on yacht scoring within 2 hours. We may probably may or may not have post-race inspections, but if it is, you would be notified to go into port credit, and it's done there. Shouldn't take long. It's important to let us know that you've withdrawn. And there is this is very critical. We've had many situations, people have gone home, and then at the end of the race, we don't know where they are, and we start hunting around for them because we're not sure whether they've sunk or gone home. And we really don't want to not call the Coast Guard if you have an issue, but we really don't want to call the Coast Guard if you're sitting at home enjoying a drink. So it's really important that you let us know if you withdraw. And you can do that by emailing us at racecommittee@lure.ca. We pick those up 7x24, or you can phone us at that number. If we get voicemail, it is forwarded to us as a file that we can listen to. So you can contact us 7/24 during the race by email or by phone. That is hopefully safe racing. And now we'll entertain any questions. The easiest way to do that is to raise your virtual Zoom hand, and we can address them in order, because we can't see all the screens with the number of people here, but you'll pop to the top of the participants list, and we can ask you to unmute, ask your questions, and we can proceed that way. Are there any questions?
Graham, I had a question, Kim.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm assuming there is no light at on the Oakville mark.
That's correct. And hopefully we've put it as the last mark, so you'll be getting there after sunrise.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
It's Bruce Smith here. I'm not sure. I don't have a hand to raise. But my question, I talked to the dock master, and they told me tomorrow afternoon, if I'm picking up crew and I'm only there for an hour or two, you can simply go in and tie up on visitors wall. So that was my first point. They just said, don't worry about registering, etc. A second point is I requested mooring overnight, and I haven't heard anything on Saturday night. So again, haven't heard back, but that's the process I followed.
Yeah, I will follow up with them and ask them to respond to you. It's difficult for us to make to do this. It has to come from PCYC Harbor. And whenever I did get a request, I CC'd him at the same time. So I will actually follow up and make sure that he's answered all of the questions which he's received.
Okay, any other questions?
Just one.
I got one. This is Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, but appreciate if you rate, first what we have, we'll get you to a minute. Kathleen has raised her virtual hand in Zoom, so we'll take Kathleen first.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Kathleen.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if there's going to be an on-water check-in or? is
Yes,
this-
there will be.
There will be. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Assuming if we fly Gal, there'll be a check-in.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Brian.
Yeah. First, I guess the question is, where's the virtual hand? I don't know.
If you go, there's a way in Zoom, you may have to look under the 3 more is under reaction, and you can raise a hand there.
Under
I
reaction.
don't even see that. Anyway, not to waste any time. I thought I saw in the SIs that there was a turning mark, but
No.
I guess not.
No,
Okay.
no turning mark
That's it.
this year. Any other questions? Going once?
Okay, I'll ask my question now. I just
Okay.
want to clarify that all marks, with the exception of the Ajax buoy, are left on the Fogue is on the port side, Ajax on the starboard side, OYS on the starboard side. Am I correct?
Correct,
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Ajax is port.
No, it's been changed.
That was
Oh,
just changed
thank you.
today, so you may not know that. So that's why it's important to look at the most recent documents and amendments, because that was just changed this morning at around 11 o'clock. So
Wow.
Yeah, and just so you know that I pulled my after 11 o'clock, but I might have been before, but so just again, the full mark left on port, Ajax on starboard, OYS mark on starboard,
Yeah.
and then the finish mark, correct?
Correct. And again, we don't assume, we don't know of any amendments, but you should check again tomorrow in case there are any amendments. And look at the flagpole at Port Credit if L flag is flying.
yeah,
Thank you
we're
very
sorry.
much. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah, we're sorry about last minute changes, but sometimes these things come up and we realize that we should have done it this way, and that's what this amendment thing is. So
I think I accidentally unmuted you, Monica, so you'll have to mute yourself.
Graham always wants to mute me. Yeah. So.
Okay, are they, again, just a reminder that you should check the sailing instructions and watch for a L flag flying from the flagpole at Port Credit. Are there any other questions?
Michael has one. Michael Eberts.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Hi, sorry, there was a bit of discussion there and I was reading the SIs and listening at the same time, but on the screen it says Ajax is on starboard.
That's-
And I think is the SIs from this morning say port. Is there?
But there's a second amendment.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'll take a look for that. I thought I was reading the most recent one, but I guess I just, yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
and yeah, so that's why we want to make sure you make sure you should get checked tomorrow. Again, what are the latest SIs?
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm having problems finding the starting sequences on
They're-
on the
They're in the they're under the other documents on yacht scoring.
oh, okay. So I've got, like, I'm on yacht scoring, looking at those arrays, documents
the-
and forms.
Yeah, it's under there, under the splits and
Okay.
starting.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I don't want to make the same mistake I made last year.
Okay. Nancy, you have a question or comment?
No, thanks, Graham. Not actually a question, but just more that there's still a few of the vessels that haven't supplied all their documentation. I'm not going to name any names, but this is event-specific information that we require. So if you think just because you did the LO 300 that we've got all your paperwork, we don't. So please make sure that it's in so I don't have to call you later today. Thanks.
Nancy, put your screen on. Let's see your face so that everybody can know who you are.
No.
So
No,
they can
I
buy
think
you a
I-
drink when they see you in the club.
I actually think that most people do know who I am. It's just like, oh, there she is again. She's bothering me. Anyways, yes, I hope to see everybody on the start line. Anyways, I'll be there with Graham tomorrow.
Okay. Kim, you have something else?
No, that was just a clap for Nancy.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Kim.
Okay. Any other questions?
I was just thinking that, it's a little bit complicated with some of the amendments changing towards the end, that maybe if people aren't too sure about what the starting time is, the scratch sheet, there might be an email that we can ask questions to tomorrow afternoon.
There'll be an email suggesting that you'd make sure you check for the latest versions.
Yes, but anyways, if anybody, I'm kind of getting up on it. If anybody has questions, I might be able to help out tomorrow afternoon.
So again, every time I suggest that you check if we post any more amendments, there'll be an email that goes out. And again, if there are any more amendments, we'll fly code flag L, and the presentation and the recording of this will be posted, and we'll list the current versions of the sailing instructions and splits with a link to them.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a question? When is the latest you can see is tomorrow by noon. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? So I'd like to thank everybody for joining.
Good racing, everyone.
Thank you, Monica and Graham.
Thanks, Graham.
Very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, gang. See ya.